What's up everybody, this is All Round Alex. Welcome to a iRacing video. This is my first video that I'll be uploading to this channel. I wasn't actually planning on recording or uploading, but this race went better than I expected, so I thought I'd come back and do a voiceover. As this is the Falken Sports Car Series, the GT4 Cup. Fixed, the short race, 15 minutes around VIR. So I've qualified third place. I was 0.1 seconds off of pole, so we've got Jorge in the BMW and Martin in the Mercedes there. I hadn't really done any practice in this race. I've done the race a couple of times this week already, but it's my first time in this track and car combination, so I wasn't expecting to be this far up on the grid. So I thought I'd just try and race safe, you know, try not to get many incident points and see how far up we could finish. The first thing I noticed was that this Jorge and Martin wanted to be sort of single file and really aggressively warm their tyres up for a lot of the formation lap, which was making it hard to sort of slot in behind Jorge there, but I figured I'd just hang back a little bit because you don't want to get any incident points on the formation lap or have any crashes. But I'd already got one incident point in the qualifying, as you can see in the bottom right there in the relatives. For anyone wondering, I use the race lab overlays. I find they're a lot better than the iRacing ones. So yeah, we're in the Porsche Cayman GT4. I think it's a pretty fun car. I actually don't own any of the other GT4s, but I've always been a big Porsche fan, so let's snap it up. And the average strength of field is 1.3k. So I've only been playing this game for about a month now, month and a bit. Mostly just playing for safety rating to get through the licenses as fast as possible. So a lot of starting in the pits and just playing safe, you know, finishing in the bottom half of the grid but not getting any incident points. I found that was the fastest way to progress. You'll see here, I think Brandon's getting a bit sick of the two in front, so I figured I'd shove my nose up along the Mercedes and stop him from weaving all over the shop. I don't know if his intention was, I think I know what his intention was. I think he's trying to keep other cars a little bit further back so he can get a jump on them on the green, and you'll see why I think that in a minute. But being pretty new to this game, I don't know how much weaving does as far as warming your tyres up on the formation lap, if it helps at all. I don't know. You know, the first lap always feels a bit sketchy, whether you spend the lap weaving or not. So if anybody knows if there's any merit to that, let me know in the comments, or warming up brakes. But so you see here, coming onto the straight, the pace car is going to pull into the pits, as it does at the end of the formation lap. But Martin here in the Mercedes just wants to run us really narrow. First corner up here is a right-hander, so it's almost like he doesn't want to let me get alongside him. He wants to cover me off, but I'm not having a bar of it. I'm just going to send it up the inside, go very wide, admittedly. Lucky we didn't have any contact there. But you know, a little bit frustrated at the antics that he was pulling. And you know, he does himself in, spins out I think on turn 3 right now. I just realised that there's no virtual mirror in the replays, so I apologise, but I'll be shifting between the onboard and the TV cameras, so I'll try and fit that in. Or you've probably already seen it because I did fit that in there. But so we made it through. A lot of, I've found, any racing game is surviving the first lap chaos. Settling in somewhere and then, you know, working with what you've got. So we're fortunate enough to nab that second place now. We're behind first, so we do have pressure from behind, but it's just a matter of keeping eyes forward, finding a groove. You know, I hadn't expected to be this far up, so we're just going to see what result we can pull out here. I was happy with being on the pace, only 0.1 off pole. With no practice is always good. But with that being said, you know, for you more experienced racers out there, if you come across this video, feel free to give me any tips in the comments, because I am new and I am learning. So I'm really missing a lot of my braking zones. Unfortunately, because I didn't record this in real time, you can't see any of my input telemetry, but I do try to practice a lot of my trail braking and stuff like that, so it's all new to me, but we're getting there. That first lap we've survived, so as you can see looking back, we've got Jorge, myself, 0.4 seconds off, William behind in the Porsche Cayman. He's very quick. He's about 3 seconds off at the moment, and then you can see the next 11 seconds, big gap back there, so a lot of argy-bargy, but it's always good to see a little breakaway pack at the front, because you can focus on your race, not so much about the chaos all around you. So as you can see, this first little section here is not a strong point of mine. These first sort of 4 corners, that first right-hander and then the subsequent sort of corners there, not my strength. I don't know if it's the car. Actually, I know it's not the car, because William's very quick through there. You'll see later in the race, but yeah, not too good at that section. I'm better through here than a lot of the other drivers, as I make an absolute hash of that corner. But I did find this Jorge in the BMW did struggle through some of these high-speed sections. So he's pulled a little bit of a gap on me. Up to a second, and William slowly reeling us in back there. So you see in the relatives he's kind of 3.1 seconds behind. You'll see that will reduce as the race goes on. See him coming out of the pits there after some first lap drama. Hate to see it. I did notice Jorge often overshot that corner, so I had that in mind for the next lap. If I was close enough, I might be able to make a move there. Just trying to think of ways that I might be able to get around the parts of the track that I'm a little bit stronger than him at, and then just focusing on staying as close as I can, following his line as best I can for the parts that he's a little bit stronger than me at. And that's a lot of what I'm trying to do at the moment. You know, this is the first race that I've won in iRacing. I've had a few second places, but it's just about being okay with being overtaken and not being the fastest on the track, because you can learn a lot from the people who are around you that are faster than you. So I'm very much in my learning era. You should always be learning, I suppose. You should never not be learning, but Jorge having a little nap on the straight there. I was thinking maybe he's got dirty tyres coming into here now that he's gone off onto the grass. I don't really know how those physics work. They seem to hook that up just fine, so as I say that. But now here's my thinking. I was going to say what I was thinking of then was stay as close as I can behind him to see if he goes off or goes wide again on that first turn, but then he just dipped his wheels in the grass, which is so easy to do in that final corner there. Opened up the inside for me and got past into first place. Not where I was expecting to be at all in this race, but now it's like, alright, eyes forward. Let's just focus on hitting your apexes, hitting the corner exits, hitting the braking zones. Trying not to feel the pressure from behind. It's so easy to spend too much time, I find, looking in the rearview mirror, looking at the relatives, seeing every time you think you might have made a mistake in a corner. Is this person catching up? How many tenths did they get out of that corner? How many, it's so easy to focus on that. And then in turn, shift your focus away from where you're driving and make more mistakes. So just trying to focus ahead. At this point you can see the gap back to William, 1.5 seconds. As I've said, try not to focus on that, but I'm not playing at the moment, I'm watching, so it's okay. But I'm also aware of the fact that Jorge's not all that far behind, so there's every possibility that they will start battling for second, and William will have to start driving defensively, which will cost them both time. And that's the dream scenario, second and third, fighting it out for position, not working together, letting you shoot off into the distance is perfect, but not always the case. If they're smart, they'll work together. Apologies if I sound like I cut off halfway through a sentence. I've had a little bit of a cold this week, so still got a bit of a cough hanging around. But William and Jorge still, less than a second between them, about half a second apart back there, so very much within dive bomb range, and William has to be aware of that. But at the same time, it's not really affording me the opportunity to pull away. A couple of poor lines through a couple of those corners, and allowing them to both keep up with me. That's a very fun section there, just flat out through those corners. This is another corner I find quite hard to get right. You really got to hang it out wide, cut back. Double apex corners are always tricky. So looking at the lap times there, 1:55.8, William behind, fastest of the race so far with 1:55.5, so a little bit faster than me, but we're on race pace, which is great. William and Jorge having a moment back there. Jorge trying to make a move at the end of the straight, and they had a bit of contact, 4x for both of them there. And Jorge coming out worse for wear, going off onto the grass once again, dropping all the way back. So that's, in theory, that's him, barring big mistakes from William and myself, that's him out of contention for the podium, or for the first place, I should say. And now we're back to racing. It's a short race, 15 minutes. So we're just going to focus, try not to make any mistakes. Part of me was hoping that Fabian was slower than he was, and that I'd be able to get past him and get a little bit of a barrier. Sometimes if you get lucky and you get past a back marker and they end up racing the person behind you, you can just, even if you just edge out a couple of tenths, getting past them a little bit quicker, just it all adds up. So these are all things that I'm thinking of at this point, what can I do to put myself in the best position to hold on to this first place, because I knew William behind me was faster, by virtue of the fact that he has the fastest lap of the race, but also that I can't pull away from him. He's gained about 7 tenths through this first 3 quarters of the lap alone. Fabian up there having a moment. Thankfully, not reversing up the track. It's another thing you've got to be careful of, especially in lower iRating lobbies. There's dangerous rejoins. I feel like a lot of the time it seems like people think they're the only person on the racetrack. That's fair enough. Everyone's done it. You spin out, you want to get back on the track as quickly as you can to stay in the race. Yeah, but thankfully, got past him fine, as did William. The gap now 0.9, so it's just grabbing a tenth on me every corner or so, and I definitely know it. It's very close now. I'm very much feeling the pressure. He had a bit of poor exit out of that hairpin onto the straight, so managed to get a few tenths back on him. So important to get the corners right coming onto a long straight, because you can lose so much time if you get your exit out of the corner wrong. You pay for that the whole way down the straight. McLaren sightseeing in the grass up there. It's Lachlan. Lots of people in the pits and leaving the pits. So it was a high incident point race by the looks of it. William's so much stronger than me through that first corner. Making 3 or 4 tenths just in the first corner, and I really didn't seem to be able to figure that corner out, which is usually what happens when you don't have a lot of time to practice. Getting very slidey out of that corner there. Purple lights on the dash there indicate a slide or loss of traction. Getting onto the throttle just a little bit there, almost spinning out. Thankfully William made a mistake coming out of that corner as well, so final lap, back straight away, only a couple of corners to go, 0.2 of a second behind me, side by side at this point. I just want to focus on holding this right hand line so I can have the inside for this tight right hander. Give him space, we make it through, manage to hold on to the position. Just a couple of corners left, got to make sure we get this exit onto the home straightaway right. We keep it together, we keep him behind, and bring it home. First race win on iRacing. Very pumped. After a number of second places and a couple of thrown first places, which unfortunately I don't have on video, but only have yourself to blame for mistakes you make that cost you the win. But yeah, pumped. It's one of those things, once you've done it, you can do it. It takes a lot of that pressure off. I haven't really played much after this. I had one race in the GT3s that went terribly, but yeah, first win out of the way, so hopefully start uploading some more content pretty soon. I guess I've made it to A license, so next it'll be the grind to 2000 iRating will probably be my next milestone. I do stream over on Twitch sometimes, just allround_Alex, same as my YouTube name, so if you want to come over and watch, yeah, I don't have any cameras at this stage. I'm really just getting started. You know, I just have a Logitech G9 28 wheel and pedal setup. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any tips for me, or you know, share your thoughts or your comments below. I don't have many people watch my videos. I'm sure I won't have a problem replying to any of them, but it'd be good to hear from you. And if you're a fellow iRacing racer, then hopefully I'll see you out on the track. Thanks everyone. Goodbye.